What if I told you the war in Venezuela didn't end when the guns went silent? Because the real battle isn't being fought with tanks or missiles. It's being fought with contracts, courts, and debt. The United States now has physical control over Venezuela's oil fields. But before a single barrel of oil can turn into profit, there's one brutal question that must be answered. Who gets paid first? China, Russia, or Wall Street? And the number attached to this fight? Over $150 billion. This is part 2 of the Venezuela story. The shooting is over. The financial war has just begun. This is where finance collides with international law. There's a powerful and controversial concept called odious debt. In simple terms, it says this: if a dictator borrows money not for the people, but to stay in power, and the lender knows this, then when that dictator is gone, the new government is not legally required to repay that debt. In Venezuela's case, the argument is clear. For over a decade, China and Russia loaned billions to the Maduro regime. That money didn't rebuild Venezuela. It didn't help the people. It propped up a collapsing dictatorship. US lawyers will argue this wasn't national debt. This was dictator debt. And if international courts agree, China's over $60 billion loans could legally become worth zero. Now understand what this means geopolitically. China doesn't just lose money, it loses credibility. Because if odious debt works here, it sets a precedent for future regime changes worldwide. It tells the world, lend to dictators, and you might never get paid. From Beijing's perspective, this isn't bad luck. This is legalized theft, and they are not taking it lightly. China thought it had protection. Venezuela owns a massive asset inside the United States. CITGO, thousands of gas stations, and refineries. Years ago, Maduro used 50.1% of CITGO as collateral for a bond called PDVSA 2020. The deal was simple: miss payments, lose CITGO. For years, the US blocked any seizure of this asset. But now, everything changes. Because Wall Street doesn't want repayment. They want ownership. Here's the move. Large US funds holding Venezuelan debt don't care about bonds anymore. They want real assets. So they execute a debt-for-equity swap. Paper debt is exchanged for physical ownership of refineries, pipelines, and oil fields. This is privatization without elections, ownership without purchase, by foreclosure. And when the dust settles, American financial institutions, not China, end up controlling Venezuela's most valuable resources. Once ownership is settled, reconstruction begins. Venezuela's power grid is collapsing. Its roads are destroyed. Its internet is decades behind. The US will announce aid packages, but the real money flows to contractors. Oil services companies restart production. Energy firms repair dams and turbines. Satellite internet bypasses broken infrastructure overnight. This isn't charity, it's business. Venezuela becomes a new client, with a credit line backed by oil. And finally, the currency. The bolivar is finished. The new government won't save it. They won't try. Venezuela will dollarize. The US dollar becomes the official currency. Hyperinflation dies instantly. Savings become real again. Wages become predictable. But there's a cost. Venezuela permanently loses monetary sovereignty. Its central bank power effectively moves to Washington. Stability in exchange for independence. So here's the final score. China's loans are erased through law. Wall Street converts debt into ownership. US companies rebuild the country, and the dollar becomes king. No colonies, no flags, just contracts. This is modern conquest. The only unanswered question is this: will China accept the loss or respond somewhere else? That is a story for another day. I'm Rahul, and this is Expertifi.